course. There was a few people over this way behind me. I could grab... Tell you what, let's grab the vehicle. Let's go for a lap. I should be able to run over whoever was back that way. Give or take if they're in the house or not. And I might be able to run over whoever's out that way, because they sound like they're outside to me. So that could be good. The problem is I'm going to go through the bomb zone for this. I could go wide. I could avoid a bit of the bomb zone. But yeah, that sounded like there was 1 or 2 people back here. Not that house, but these ones over here. That's what they sounded like they were to me. So, where are you guys? The door there is open. I expect somebody to be inside here. Inside or upstairs. The door's already open, so they've already left. I don't see them out that way. They could have run over to the complex. It's completely possible. Yep, they did. Alright. That explains that. They're either at the complex or they're at the trees. I can't tell which. Oh, yeah. Hey, mate. Come back. The fuck you go? Alright. I'm gonna guess that they went for a lap. What did you have? Apart from the fact that we're in a bomb zone, laying down's not like the greatest thing right now. SLR could be good, but I'm not going to take it. Let's see. I don't need this many scopes. Bomb zone's over. Probably should take in more ammo. Let's go find out what was happening out in the wild over towards like school direction. See what's going on over there. Because, as far as I could tell, there was like 2 or 3 or 4 people. But obviously some of them would be dead by now. And where was that? Back that way a bit. Alright. I'll come back to that. Honestly, that car is a lot better for like scooting around here. This is Yasna. So I guess not quite school. I was thinking further down the map. I was expecting people to be here, but there's like nobody. That's fine. I'll go back and I'll take like the other car that allows me to drift a little bit. And then I'll go back. The greatest driver I've ever seen. Only... What? Get back to this one. They're only commenting... What's that? 30,000 Monopoly dollars of damage. Like I said, you haven't seen me drive off a tree yet. It should be physically possible. But I'll fucking do it. You're a good shot. Where are you? Oh yeah, I see him. Alright, let's go fix that. I want to take it on... The flying fuck was I driving towards? Was there 2 separate people? The hell? Mate, it wasn't you, I'll tell you that much. I'm amazed that there was a second person there, because that was not the one that was firing at me. There was another one a little bit further back at the rock. Count of 3 people, I wouldn't be surprised. Because I was headed back towards... There was like a ruckus and I couldn't find the people. And it wouldn't be surprising if they went to like a building or something like that, you know. It just kind of is that way sometimes. It's crazy. Alright, let's see. I was trying to... It's not that. I thought it was that. That's what I wanted to look at. Because I've got like a shit ton of kills for the short amount of time I've been playing. I've only done like 14 hours of the game so far on this particular season. I've got like 233 kills. Not too bad. My longest kill is a little bit further away for once. I'm pretty sure they normally stay around about 300 odd. I go backwards. And 300. That one's a 4. 3. 3. Yeah. Alright. That's not too bad. My kills are going up a little bit. It's nice. I need your expert help on what? And then go on the hill, another where you found the one that just did the Kenobi. Yeah, look, I'm pretty... Oh shit, my chair. Sorry, my chair's just fucking snapped. Hold up. It's got this like bar underneath that if you don't push in every so often, it just sends you flying backwards. And because I never lean back, I don't have the full effect of getting sent flying backwards, but it still does it every so often. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was one guy in the building, one guy out the back, and one guy up the hill in the background. I don't know how to feel, because I have a crush. Someone else confessed to my friend. Now I just do not know. Was the crush on the friend? Or did somebody else tell your friend that they also like the same person? Gotta get a little bit clear on that one. And mine are screws, and they're both broke last week. Yeah, so I think somewhere within the last month or so, Azula was sitting on the top back of the seat, and when I stood up, the seat toppled over because she made it top heavy. And she's fine. She's perfectly fine. But the seat itself hasn't been quite the same since. So it kind of rattles and clanks and feels really janky and loose now. It has already been, like, repaired once. Because what happened in the past was the spindle underneath. It did that thing where it, like, fucking pulls out and sent me flying. And in the process, it broke the spindle. So, like, the shaft of the seat itself got rammed into the spindle part, and I had to replace that to keep using this. So, the chair's fucking old, and it's already gone through repairs, so I can't imagine what happened to it was good. But someone else liked the same person I did, and I did not know how to feel. So I'm happy for them, but I also, I feel strange. Give me a sec, let me have some water. I mean, reality is that, multiple people might like the same person that you do, but now you're aware that this one specific person likes them as well. That's basically considered competition, because it's entirely up to the person that you both like as to who they actually like. And it also matters to whether or not either of you have actually told that person that you like them. Because, you may like them and the other person may like them, but they might not necessarily like you, or they may not necessarily like the other person. So ultimately, that doesn't really matter. They may not even like either of yous, or they might like both of yous. Who knows? But the thing is, they also may not even know that you exist. That's another thing too. Liking people is just fucking difficult, because I guess the other thing too is, as you get older and shit, the other thing is, the awareness that liking somebody means that there's only a limited amount of time before they're no longer available, kind of thing. So from my experience, his best friend had that fight, but instead we decided the best man win. Yeah, there's also that too. There's also, friendly rivalry like that. They're together now. And the friend won. I kicked him in the balls. Oh, snipe. That's fair, though. I mean, that's not winning gracefully. I mean, that's not losing gracefully, but I get it. I guess the thing is, all you can really do a waiver is, I guess, be happy for them. That they're together. Just because they are together doesn't mean that they're always going to stay together. They may break up in a month or a year, who knows. And like I said, the other thing too is that they may not necessarily even know that you like them, or that you exist exactly. I'm not trying to be oh, you don't exist kind of shit, and that's what the problem is. But the thing is, when you like somebody, you do have to kind of jump on that. And otherwise, somebody else can take them. There's always that risk that somebody else will just be, quicker or more available, or whatever. After 3 months, the best friend broke up with her since he had too much shit going on in life. Yeah, that's another thing too. The other thing too is that just because they're together now, they could stay together. This could be a marriage for life situation, or it could be something that they're not really compatible, they don't really get along, and over a little while they break up. But the thing is, if they broke up, if he was available today, if they were available today, would you just go ask him out? Or would you remain, like in the shadows where they don't know that you're interested in them? Like, would you act on that once they're single or what? Because that's another point, is if you wouldn't act on that when they're single, there's no point in being like upset about it. Because yeah, it's kind of like, oh, there's no like real progress going on there kind of thing. I don't really say shit very well, but like eventually I'll get there. Eventually I'll express what the fuck I'm trying to say. Oh, that's a distance. Maybe there'll be a car out the front. Damn. Fucking right there. That'd be the third wheel. Hello. That. Oh, that's super pit. You know what? I'm gonna leave you two. Your own devices for once. I could take you down, but I'm gonna leave it. I'd rather remain in the shadow. Because I'm not comfortable with going after someone who already loves someone else. Yeah, but the thing is, like, in life, everybody is going to have at least some level of attraction or interest in someone else at some point in time. Like, if you write off everybody for having been, like, interested in someone, and I do understand this is a friend, too, that they're interested in and currently dating and stuff, so that's a little bit different. But still, I don't know if I can get you from here. No. I was hopeful. I don't actually know if I can get out of here unless I get, like, some speed up. There's a guy at the end, though. Wait, does this go somewhere? Hold up. I gotta know. I got a grenade. I guess this goes somewhere. I just, like, dropped in the worst fucking place. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, I guess maybe it does. Hi, mate. I would have loved to have taken a grenade, but this'll do. Alright. Let's keep going. I'm gonna leave everybody here. I'm just gonna try to get into a zone first and foremost. I'll fight if I have to. It just doesn't feel good to me. Yeah, it's not going to for a while, unfortunately. Because, like, when you think of them, you remember that they're with your friend. When you think of your friend, you remember that they're with the person that you're interested in. Like, it's going to take a couple of months not sort of feel that way. And who knows, even by the time you adjust to the whole situation, they might break up. So, hey, anything could happen. But when I realized what kind of person she was, I went like, nah, I'm good. I die alone, funeral will be cheaper. I'm one of those people where I don't really need to be in a relationship. I don't really need to have, like, any kind of, like, connection with people. I am very, very comfortable being alone. So, like, while I'm open to relationships, and I am in one at the moment, it's just not something that's ever really bothered me. So, yeah, okay, there've been people that I've found attractive and stuff, but it's been like, okay, I'm probably not going to date them. I'm sure as fuck not going to ask them out. I like them, but I'm not going to ask them out. If they ask me out, maybe I'd date them. But I'm happy also being single. So, you know, that's how I sort of looked at it when I was single. I'm like, I would rather be single than in a relationship. If I was in a relationship, I'd be probably fine. But relationships are a lot of work, realistically. Oi. There is so many fucking people here. I could probably get like 10 to 15 kills. Okay, let's go for a little lap. There's a lot of people I left like further back, but essentially there's a lot here. Hi. Hit you for starters. Me have to know someone for years. Because going too fast is very dangerous for me. Hi, mate. I guess you're getting out of here. Is it? Going too fast is very dangerous. I don't know. Hi. I guess you're catching up to me here too, aren't you? They're probably gonna kill me, honestly. Look at you dating. Holy Nick. He's just a friend. Nick's my fiance. I proposed to him. We've been together for like almost 11 years now. But we're still engaged. But it doesn't really matter, though. Because like, we're not trying to have kids. Kids are not part of the equation of our life. So, engaged, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It's all the same shit, just a different label, realistically. Oh, right next to it. Yes. You know what I wish I had I wish I had a grenade for that. Ugh. Yeah, no, I fucking hate kids. I've expressed this multiple times. I really hate kids. So I'm not having any. Not specifically because they're weird or I hate them, but I just don't like kids. I don't see the point in it. I see you. Hi, mate. Somebody else over here is shooting at me, but I don't know where you are. Somebody else is also kind of closer to me than that, too. Hold on. Where are you? I couldn't see you aiming at me. The hell are you? Oh, there. Alright, get rid of you. Let's go back this way for this guy. Fine with being alone too, but I don't say no to it. Yeah, so basically I think I fall under asexual or aromantic or something like that. Where I think I'm aromantic and sexual or something. It basically means that I don't really like seek out any kind of like physical kind of relationship and stuff from people, but I do find like basically all genders to be like in their own way kind of attractive, but I don't really like, I'm not like going out of my way to try to like get into a relationship and stuff. I'm quite happy being alone. So yeah, it's one of those things where like if Nick passed away, I would remain alone. I just wouldn't fuck around bothering with trying to get into a new relationship. I'm just not interested, you know. I'm hoping I can kill the person on the other side of this. They're not dead. Where are you, mate? Almost. I got partway through them. If I had a grenade, I could have lobbed it. I also could have got a couple of extra kills in there. So, from my experience from the other friends, I had very bad relationships. The other thing, too, is I tend to find the relationships kind of don't go really well until you're, like, partway into your 20s. Like, pretty much until you're at the point where you're actually really willing to fucking work on, you know, being in a relationship. I think somebody said it's like, in a relationship, you should both be trying to work at being, like, always there for the other person, knowing that it's not always possible, but if both of you are fighting for that 60% ratio of, you know, being a committed partner and stuff, you're doing basically the best you can. Kind of thing. I don't know, I don't explain shit well. I know that. Romantic, like Canadian romance. I don't fucking know. I know I looked it up at one point. Because, like, I don't know. When I was single, I didn't really date much. Like, I had a couple of partners before Nick, but none of them were, like, really specifically anything. And I definitely didn't do any of, like, the casual shit. Wasn't interested in it. I didn't need it. So, pretty much as long as I had, like, good friendships with people, like, I got a lot of, like, my socializing needs from people, from just being, like, you know, hang out, go see a movie, or, like, just sit around and chat, watch TV or something like that. Like, I just don't need the, like, romantic shit that most people need. So, yeah. It was a lot easier for me to be independent and stuff. Because I've never been in a relationship before, but even just friendships can be so stressful where I'm the only one giving them my effort. And to be honest, too fucking lazy to really say yes or no to anything or do anything. I think the other thing too is that relationships do seem like a fair bit of effort before you actually get into one. And it's kind of like, how the fuck do you even get into a relationship in the first place? But it's better off if you are, like, if you get along with somebody and you're mostly compatible with them, especially on, like, bigger life things and stuff. But yeah, as long as you genuinely get along with them, you like them, they like you, all that sort of stuff, that's what's important. Relationships can be, like, worked on, but it's best not to try to be with somebody that's just like, if you look at somebody and you're like, I wish that they didn't do this, or I love them but I wish that they did this differently, fucking walk away and find somebody else. Find somebody for who they are, that you like all of who they are as they are. You'd be a lot happier. That's what I've got with Nick. That's why, like, Nick is like my exception to life kind of thing. It's just like, I don't want anything changed on him. Like, if he wants to change something about himself, I'll be there. I'll be supportive for him. But I literally, he's perfect as he is for me. Any changes will make him not who he is, you know? That was like a job at home. What? It's like a job at home. That I didn't know. I don't follow. I feel like I missed something. It's probably my friends. Okay, trans. Look, I grew up where my family basically thought that I had to be gay because I wasn't slicking off my seat for every guy that walked past me. But also my family was incredibly racist and homophobic as well. So realistically, if I was to like turn and say, oh wow, she's really beautiful, like, holy shit, I just pissed off like grandma or something, you know? So yeah, I didn't really get to have like my own kind of freedom of opinion and stuff. Like, I find all kinds of spectrum from like male through to female and like non-binary, gender fluid, all that stuff. I find all of that to be attractive. It depends on the person and how I find them to be attractive. But yeah, I just don't seek romantic or like physical relationships with people. It's just not something I need. Which of course confused my parents growing up, because you'd think as a teenager I should have had like a huge rush of emotions and been like, oh my god, every single guy, like my friends, every single guy that walked past them, like they just about could have slid off their seat. It was too fucking much for them. And I'm just like, what was special about him? And they're like, oh, he wasn't wearing a shirt. And I'm like, really? That's your standard? That's all it takes for you? And yeah, I definitely did not, I did not fit in my age group when I was a teenager. That's for fucking certain. And I guess it like really didn't happen either with like my young adulthood, because I had a completely different life to all of my friends and family by the time I was like a young adult. Because, you know, I had, you know, working full-time job, I had a house, I had a car, like all that shit when I was 18. So it's not really something that's compatible with my friends' lives at the time either. If people are like that, and it's going to be hard for people to find the one. The other thing too is, I really always hated hearing people say, oh, there's like, you'll know when you find the one or whatever and stuff like that. I'm like, how? Fucking explain it and stuff. And I'm like, it's just a weird fucking thing to like say and whatever. And yet the only way I can describe it is like being with Nick is kind of like, as soon as I entered a relationship with him, the only thing I knew for sure was that I was going to be with him for a very long time. I had that feeling. So, yeah, I pretty much, like, you know, went, okay, well, regardless of if it's 1 year, 3 years, 30 years, whatever, I'm clearly going to be with this guy for a long period of time. I could feel that. That was the only defining difference, too, for me as well, was, like, this is not the same thing. It's not the same kind of relationship as every other relationship. And I haven't had that many relationships. I think, like, Nick's my third partner, I think. Give or take from memory, I think that's right. I think he's my third. I just didn't date. Just wasn't fucking interested in it. But, yeah. Like, you kind of know when you know. But I also wouldn't be saying, like, you ain't, like, for most people, you are not going to be finding your soulmate before, like, 20. In most cases. It is fucking rare. And even if you do, like, you're still going to have to work on that shit. Like, there's going to be times where shit's just not compatible. It just is. Like, 100% of the time is not fucking possible, you know? I'm sure there's some people out there like, no, it's possible. I'm like, you're very lucky if that's the case, if that's how your relationship is. Either that or one of you is secretly unhappy. Because, you know, that also happens too. I missed something there. But, if everyone has downsides, they all tolerate it for a reason. the other thing too is the difference in what is worth like fighting over kind of thing. So, like, I'm a pretty blasé person. I don't really give too much of a shit about much stuff. Nick also does not give too much of a shit about much stuff. So we don't have much stuff that we, like, you know, get in a shit over, specifically. There's a few things that we know are, like, no. And there's a few things that are like, yeah, we do that. That's part of being a person kind of thing. Like, I fucking hate doing the dishes, right? That's one thing I don't like. Nick likes kind of coming home and like cleaning, like straight after work. I don't fucking understand it. I'm like, I'm too lazy for that shit. I would much rather like slap something in the oven and go play a game for an hour. I see that as a far more productive use of my time. But, you know, from Nick's perspective, he gets some level of satisfaction in having like a clean space before he winds down. And I get that. So I just stay the fuck out of the way. I'm just like, go for it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But at the same time, there's a little bit of like consideration there. Like, you know, if he asks me to wash a fucking dish off before leaving in a sink, I'll fucking wash the dish off before leaving in a sink. Because it matters to him. It doesn't matter to me. But what matters to me is that he's okay, you know. Like, washing a dish is not much of an effort to make him happy. If that's something that's going to make him happier today, you know? Or ultimately, like, I don't know, throw a fucking load of washing on or something while he's at work, which means he has uniforms for tomorrow. It's a small little fucking effort that I know makes a difference. Or, you know, sometimes, like, getting groceries and stuff, like, I'll grab like a box of brownies or something, like a cake mix type thing, and he hasn't noticed that I put it in the thing because he's like so fucking distracted or focused on like work and getting groceries and stuff. And yet I go home and then I start cooking brownies, and 40 minutes later he's got brownies. So whatever he was worried about, he's no longer worried about, you know, little things. Constantly doing what you'd like to have done for you in a thoughtful manner that applies to your partner is a really good way to kind of have a happy relationship. Honestly, not everybody gives it back though. And that's unfortunate, but that's also part of like people just don't think about the other side of the coin. Like some people will be like, oh cool, my partner always like makes me brownies when I'm like stressed out. Instead of like, man, she's a bit stressed out. Maybe I should do something. Maybe she'd like it if I did this kind of thing, you know? The thought process doesn't always go both ways, but it's really nice when it does, you know? It's also not expecting that shit to go both ways. That also makes it nicer too, when it does happen. I feel uncomfortable now. Why? Just because they're in the relationship? I mean, like I said, I think you're going to feel uncomfortable for a little while because you're going to see them together and you're going to be like, I like that person. But the thing is, are you uncomfortable because you wish you were in your friend's position? Like, are you looking at what they're doing and saying and how they're being and stuff and being like, that could be me? Or are you just annoyed that they're with the person that you like, or that the person that you like is no longer something that you can like fantasize as being like, you know, oh, they're attractive, but they don't have anybody, but now they're in a relationship, so it's kind of like it's not okay to be like thinking that way, which honestly doesn't stop a lot of people, I'll be honest there. Because my friend is talking to me about, oh my god, give us ideas on where to go on a date. I just give them some locations, so it really makes me feel uncomfortable. I hate to admit that so much, but I do think I'll get over it eventually. I think I'll get over it eventually. Like I said, it's not going to be quick. Just to be clear, it could take a couple of months. It's not going to take forever, but it might take a couple of months to feel a bit more, like, better about it. The other thing, too, is that you have every right to tell your friend, I don't really feel comfortable suggesting somewhere to go. Like, maybe make a point of letting them know that's like, did you know that I actually liked them as well? I didn't plan to ask them out, but I'm a little uncomfortable because, like, I also like them. And it's an adjustment period for me at the moment, seeing you two together. So, like, asking where, you know, where I would like to, not so much like where I'd like to take this person, but like asking for a location is kind of the same thing of like, where would you take somebody if you were going on a date? It's the same kind of thing as like, then you have to think, well, where would you go if you took that person somewhere? And yeah, as Snark said before, it's like, then there's always the third wheel situation, you know, where you want to hang out with your friend and they're with the person. And that's going to be awkward for a while. It just is. Sometimes that doesn't stop. Sometimes that shit doesn't go away. And sometimes that's partially because of the other person making shit awkward. Some people will do that. Like, one of my friend's partners was like naturally a very, very awkward person. And he never spoke if I was around. Never said a word. And the best you could get out of him was like a mumble or a grunt kind of thing if I was present. I fucking hated it. I just figured the guy hated me, but he was just like incredibly shy. That's all it was. And he just didn't like, his perspective was he did not like talking to other women, even if it was like their partner's best friend that the partner had invited over, because it could lead to some kind of misunderstanding or whatever. It was kind of silly, but once we all cleared the air with what was actually the problem, it was fine. And it was actually a lovely chap. I just didn't know fuck bugger all about him for 2 years. And I just thought he fucking hated me is all. So yeah, you get like little like shit like that happen too. I obviously probably not that specifically happen. I doubt that would happen to pretty much anybody else, but I mean, it does happen. I kind of want to get rid of these two that I'm running towards, and there's the third guy over there, but I'll have to kind of get into zone before I can start sniping them.